Hey real squad, welcome back to the channel. So I'm popping in today. I know we're all in quarantine and I thought, hey, now would be a good time if you have a goal of buying maybe your first or second rental property. Now is a good time while you're inside to strategize and start researching the different methods that you're going to use to find your rental property so that you'll, have some type of plan in mind when you are ready to buy. So look in old newspapers. That is the key, is that the older the paper is, the better. And when you look in old newspapers, there's always a for rent section, right? The good thing about it, it sounds ancient, but there are a lot of people that still put for rent ads in the paper. When you find old newspapers, the key here is that a lot of times landlords, if they've been trying to rent their property for a while unsuccessfully, and you reach out to them and start, saying, hey, you're interested in property to buy in that area, you can kind of more find some kind of motivation there for them to sell, because look up for sale by owner ads. This is another method that you can add and say, look, I'm going to add this to my strategy, because the key with for sale by owner ads that I found is look them up and make sure that they're at least 2 months old, because that means that this person has been trying to sell their property for over 60 days, and that's about the time frame when it's more, you have a higher percentage of negotiating with them. They really are starting to get more motivated to sell. Drive around and look for sale by owner signs in front of properties, and the reason is that for sale by owner, a lot of times when people start selling their property for sale by owner, they may come out in the beginning and they're paying for internet ads and all this different type of marketing, but after a while that adds up and then people stop paying for the marketing. So a lot of times you have for sale by owner homes that the only thing that the owner starts to use is a sign in the front. So always remember, you're trying to find someone that they were trying to sell and they were unsuccessful. So a lot of times when people are unsuccessful, the longer they're trying to sell, they make the mistake of cutting back on marketing. So that's why it's always good to drive around the location areas that you're interested in and see if you see any signs and call those signs. Okay, find abandoned properties. Now this is really there's different ways to find abandoned properties, and this is going to vary like by city and by county, because literally what I would tell you, if you pick this strategy, now's a good time to research if in your city and county do they keep a list, because like here in my area they keep a list of people that are reporting, like people will calling and complain, like the grass in a particular house is overgrown, and they start to make different complaints, and then after a while the city or the county, they will go out and check, and if they are not getting a response and things like that, they will actually start to keep an abandoned property list, and so they'll add that property to the list. So if you want to use this strategy, now's a good time to research it. If in your area do they keep a list, what is the best way for you to find abandoned properties, because let people know you're looking for property to buy. This is like so key. A lot of times especially people that are just starting out and they have not purchased any property yet, they're reluctant to tell people, hey, I'm an investor and I'm looking for property to buy. But that is so key. Just saying, look, I'm looking for property to buy. I'm interested in buying a property in 2020. I'm interested in buying a property in 2021. It's so key, because you'll be surprised that you'll tell someone and that person will be talking to someone else, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember Neva said she's looking for this property, and then they'll reach out to you and say, hey, my friend, somebody in church, somebody's looking to sell. Is this something you're interested in? So just blast it off to all your friends and family members, your network, and let them know, like, this is a goal that you have. You're looking for a rental property to buy. Reach out to bankers with the goal of trying to get access to foreclosure properties before they hit the market. So this is what I'm saying. This is a good time to research who are those people in your area. A good thing to do is, I always tell my students, is to go on Zillow, and on Zillow, if you open an account, you can see like foreclosures and REOs and things like that once you actually log in and create an account. Look for the real estate agents that are listing those properties. Now's a great time to reach out to people that are active in the distressed properties in your particular area. So spend time researching them, forming a list, getting all their contact information and things like that, okay? Offer someone a finder's fee to give people incentives to send you referrals, because a lot of times, you know, you tell someone you're looking for property to buy, there's really no incentive for them to help you. So a finder's fee, say, hey, I'm looking for property to buy. You know, if you come across something and you refer it to me and I buy it, you know, I pay a $2,000 finder's fee. So it just gets people to, hey, Neva is serious. She's saying that she's, you know, if I said, and you know, it's easy. The only thing the person is doing is sending you a referral, and you're saying, hey, I'll pay you $2,000. I'll pay you $1,000 just for, you know, sometimes they're just introducing you to maybe a cousin, a friend, a family member. They're just telling you to contact, or they're telling you a particular address, or they're telling you, hey, this house in my neighborhood is abandoned, or something like that. I had one for my neighbor for a finder's fee. Someone in her church was going through a divorce, and she gave me the referral. So that's not something that, you know, this is not someone I knew. This property was, you know, nowhere close to being on the market yet. So that's what I'm saying. Give people an incentive, because she's happy to help someone in her church, and I'm happy to look and see, hey, is this a potential property that I can buy? So things like that. Just offer them some incentive for giving you the referral. Eviction notices. So this is where you can find a lot of just tired landlords, that we call it, where they're just like, you know, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm not collecting rent. They're having to evict people. Look and see in your county. Now's a great time to research, what is the eviction process? I think you just heard my kids screaming in the back. But to research what is the eviction process in your area, and how you can get that list, and how you can be notified, you know, for a new eviction filing. Like for me, I've had to research and find the different codes in the case records so that I know that it's an eviction and things like that. Now is a good time to research in your area, what is the eviction process, because this is a great place that you could say, look, I'm going to, when I'm ready, I'm going to market to landlords that are going through eviction notices, because I'm telling you, that's usually a great time to get people that are tired and frustrated and are just, you know, more motivated to sell than to keep being in court with tenants. Use the internet. I mean, come on, we are all sitting home now. I mean, it is so easy for us to research things. I mean, when I started, you know, a lot of stuff was not online. Like nowadays, it seems like so many courts and counties and things are online. But when I started in real estate, it was not like that. Like literally, a lot of the codes and things like that, I had to learn from going into the court and sitting there for days and asking people to help me. And so, I mean, use the internet. Now is the time for you to Google and Google and Google and just be a pro when all this is over.
Bye. Remember to subscribe. Number 10.
Okay, so
put an ad in the paper.
So yes, put an ad in the paper just saying that you're looking for rental property to buy. A tip here is when you're putting an ad in the paper is to more do like the small local papers, like specialized newspapers, because the ads are usually low cost, as opposed to if it's like in, you know, the biggest national paper and things like that in your area. So I'll usually do, like, sometimes when you're leaving the grocery store, there's you know, little local papers and things like that. Sometimes to put, you know, when I put an ad in those, they're like really, they're way less than if I put them like in here in our area, like the Washington Post or something like that. If I put something in just a local paper that's in my supermarket, it's gonna be way less cost. Thumbs up? Yeah. Okay. All right, bye bye. See you next video.